Welcome to the first video of Wireless Interview. I'm your host, Dylan Madden, and this is our co-host, Donnie Nizri. So on the first episode of Wireless Interview, we'll be talking about sports reopening. So this channel will be interviewing people about their life during quarantine. But for this first video, we're not going to be interviewing anyone. It's just going to be me and Donnie talking.
Let's get started.
Yeah. The question is about sports because obviously all sports have closed down. We're going to talk about, what you think about sports reopening. So my question to Donnie is, Donnie, if you had to choose one sport to reopen, which sport would it be and why?
Well, I think, the answer is probably the NBA because that's the league I watch most. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That is a good one to reopen. I can tell that a lot of people are missing the NBA right now. It's certainly a big sport, and a lot of people like watching it. It's tough without it.
Yeah, it was like a month away from the playoffs being started. You know?
Yeah, it would have been some crazy playoffs.
Yo, I have a question for you, D.
Yes.
So if the NBA season never got canceled, who do you think would win the championship?
Honestly, I do feel like the Bucks would have taken it home. I think although, a lot of people might have said it was the Lakers, although they are a good team, with the Bucks, they have Giannis. I mean, especially Middleton, that's a good team right there. And I understand the Lakers do have some outstanding players, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and many more. But I just think as a team, as a whole, I think the Bucks are going to they could have pulled it off if it still was on.
Well, in my opinion, I actually think it's neither the Lakers or the Bucks. You know why? Because the Clippers.
What do you think?
The Clippers. You know why?
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, if Kawhi was playing like the full season, Clippers would have been number one in the West, and they would have probably won the championship. Because remember, they have the Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, Lou Williams, the entire squad.
So the MLB, on the other hand, they said they are going to try to open on July 4th weekend. That was posted a week ago.
So the MLB reopening, I feel like it's like a risky shot. Because if they reopen and one person catches it, the next thing you know, all the players are going to be shut down. They're going to have no MLB. It could be risky.
But another thing you have to think about is that if baseball reopens, what about the people that are not in the U.S.? You have many players coming from the Dominican Republic, some players coming from Asia, and you have those players coming. Who knows, are they going to have to quarantine for 2 weeks? Because they said in the news report last night, it said that they're not going to have to quarantine for 2 weeks, which, if that is possible, someone like Edwin Encarnacion comes all the way from Dominican Republic and gets his entire team sick, that just can't happen. The thing is, no one wants to see the sight of a team coming, imagine they're imagine it's the World Series, right? Because they said they're going to do extended playoffs, World Series, and it's Game 7, right? Winner of that game takes it home, and next thing you realize, they have to get a whole new roster, right? It's just it's gonna take away MVPs, it's gonna take away fame, and a team some teams, they're gonna whatever team wins the World Series, if this actually happens, it's not going to be 100% because of skill. There's going to be problems with the pandemic, and that is going to affect what team, wins what. If you get someone like Mike Trout sick, that's just going to change the entire team. These teams need these players, and if they can't have these players, then, that's just – sometimes some of these teams are just going to start throwing their World Series ring in the drain.
So you're saying, if there are half rosters in the MLB, teams are going to have, unfair championships or something?
It's not going to be fair. It's not going to be right.
Really unfair to have the MLB play now because a lot of players on the roster are going to get sick, and that kills the entire roster. It could be a championship roster.
I would like to see some baseball, but if it's risking, someone's life – I know these guys are in some great shape, but it doesn't mean that one can get sick and then somehow the coronavirus can actually hit them. I know if they're in good shape, it's and all these guys are, it's going to be a lower chance of them getting sick really bad.
Do you think MLB players are going to opt out of playing the season if it opens?
That is a very good question, and I don't know, man. You get some players that actually have a family, and they might have to stay home during the quarantine, but at the same time, they also need to make a living. I know most of them are secure when it comes to money, but some of them, like, this is their job. They still, in a sense, need to get back to work, and and it's hard to say, but the MLB might be a life-risking job, but you don't want to hear that, but that just sucks.
So let's switch gears to the NFL.
Okay.
That's pretty much over though, right?
The NFL finished. It was a great time slot. It ends early February, Super Bowl.
I feel like the NFL was lucky with it, because right as the season ended, the coronavirus started getting started a bit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a few weeks ago, they had the online draft, right?
They did have the online draft. I mean, that was some funny shit right there. Nothing better than seeing them draft in their house. But I mean, if they have this draft, that means that they still got money circulating. That means that they're still holding up. I know people that are still going to work for the NFL. I know people that know people, right? They're still working for the NFL. So this can mean that NFL is still going to open. But of course, it's too far away to tell now.
So the NFL hasn't said anything about reopening the season.
Like they gave us clues that that they're still working, but they haven't had any definite decisions. But personally, I think they're going to still open.
Yeah, no one said the NFL is going to close next season, right?
Yeah.
I know one said it's going to open. But we're assuming it is.
I'm assuming it's going to open, but of course, you don't know what's going to happen in the next months. It's up to the fate of people, whether they are going to, actually stay at home, try not to spread the sickness, or if you're going to get some people always going outside and spreading it. It's just, it's too unpredictable to predict. So the next topic we're going to talk about is certainly, because all these sports are closed, they're all canceled. There's, some people lost their MVP. Obviously, that's a big thing. So let's start talking about NBA. So Donnie, who do you think was gonna win MVP?
So it's obviously a debate between Giannis and LeBron, and some people say Kawhi, but Kawhi's not gonna win it because he's not playing the full games this season. It just doesn't make sense for him to win it.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, he's never won an MVP. Isn't that surprising to you?
Yeah, you take a player like him. I mean, to be honest, when he won with the Toronto Raptors, I understand he was a big carry to that team, making the game-winning shot against the Sixers and, pretty much helping the team. I am a Sixers fan myself, but he is a good player. But he also did have a good team. He has been having some good teams. I mean, it wasn't all him, but I mean, he still is a good player. It seems like he does deserve an MVP, but he did win MVP of the All-Star game.
Yeah. That's not really important, though. It's not as big as a regular.
Well, yeah, but people actually tried this year, so.
Okay. Yeah. This year was, way more competitive than usual. It's a prize for each quarter. If you won the quarter, you donate, $100K to a charity, right?
Yeah.
And there were different charities, one for Giannis's team and one for LeBron's. But back onto the MVP race. So I'm debating between LeBron and Giannis, and I'm going to be honest. It's going to be Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
He's leading his team to the first seed in the East, right?
Yeah.
He's also what's it called? He's really athletic for his size. He's over 7 foot. He's a power forward, small forward.
Is he over 7 foot?
He's over 7 foot. Yes.
Okay.
Pretty sure he is. Right? And his athleticism, have you seen how fast he is?
I mean.
And he does that unassisted dunk he's famous for.
I know.
I feel like that deserves the MVP.
I mean, personally, I agree with that too. Because you take a look, what they take MVP is that they want that player that just, he's the guy, right? He's the guy that's taking that team as far as they're getting. You take Middleton as well, but he's no
Giannis.
Yeah, but then you take LeBron, which is some people think is in the running, which is a good reason. He's not the only one that's making this Laker team, be one of the best teams right now.
There's Kuzma.
Yeah, you take all these great players. It's just it wasn't all him. And I feel like if they look at Giannis and they're like, he's actually, you take him, all-star captain, carrying his team. He didn't really have much help to get this. I think that's also why he's gonna get MVP.
But like you really can't say the Bucks don't have a good team. They have Giannis, what's his name? Chris Middleton, Eric Bledsoe, their center, Brooke and Robin Lopez.
I mean, yeah, I think Giannis is gonna win it. That's personally my opinion, but of course people might think different.
And to all those people saying like Luka Doncic can win MVP, I completely disagree with that.
And why is that?
Like all these people say like not now, but like in the future he's gonna win MVP. I just disagree. I don't know. Like I've seen his style of game. I think he's that 1 year wonder we're all looking at. I know he won Rookie of the Year last year, but his defense is pretty awful. I mean like he's pretty big to dribble, but that's all he's pretty much got, to be honest.
Yeah, like his defense. I mean, you mentioned his defense. It's some bad defense, and the stakes are high this year. For MVP, you got some really good players. In order to get MVP, you really have to show both sides of the ball. It's something you really have to look forward at. But also, I fact checked you. Giannis is 6'11". He's 6'11". Yeah, like still big, man. I want to take it as a small guy, but I mean, 7 foot. That's just a big height. To be honest, we'll call him 7 foot because he's about 7 feet. It's just to have the agility as Giannis, to play like him. It gives him so much. All his rebounds, the games he's playing. I just honestly, Giannis is gonna win it if it were still on.
So moving on to the MLB. D, who do you think is gonna win the MVP in the MLB?
Honestly, I do think Matt Bregman.
Why?
Wait, why I say Matt Chapman. I think it is Matt Chapman because he's a good player, man. You can see him right off the bat. He sees the ball, he goes right to it. And then you come to his hitting, he's a great hitter, man. You see him slugging all these. But then you also bring it to the Astros cheating, where they stole the signs from all these teams, and they were able to tell what they were going to throw. So if he has all that hits from actually, his skill and not cheating, then I would say he was a good player. But if all of his hitting, all of his slugging was from cheating, then he was just not the MVP.
So that's going to wrap it up.
Like, subscribe, and comment down any other ideas of what topics we should talk about next. Thanks for watching.